Hi Deepthi, thanks for joining the call. Let's wait for others as well. How are your preparation going, Deepthi? Is everything fine?
Yeah, like we have started practicing as a group. We five members.
Okay, cool. But uh,
Yeah,
always try to sync with other teams and see, like in case you face any issues or anything, na, try to discuss among
mm,
yourself first. Then you find a issue, or solve problem, resolution, fine. Otherwise, you can reach out to me anytime. Okay, after this course as well,
sure. Sir.
you can definitely reach
Mm-hmm.
out to me. But yeah, that
Okay.
group preparation is fine, but sometimes it will waste your time. Just be
Yeah,
aware.
yeah. Only 1 hour. Apart from that, we'll prepare ourselves.
Exactly. Yeah. I
Yeah,
think coding and all, na. So
yeah.
what you do is SQL, Python problems, right? Follow in LinkedIn's. LinkedIn, na. So there will be many people. They will throw the challenges, SQL challenges on the LinkedIn. So
Okay. Sir.
if you
Yeah.
follow those type of people, na, so then you will get to know all the SQL coding and all. So it will make things very easy for you. What they will do now, so they will attend the regular interviews, right? So they will collect the data from the interviews. Let's say if I attended an interview, they will collect data from me and post it in the LinkedIn. That means so that
Okay.
whoever follows it, they will be aware of those interview questions. So that's it. Just try to follow it.
Yeah, just wanted to know, sir, what we need to search in LinkedIn.
Find any
Uh,
SQL challenges, data engineering SQL challenges, data engineering Python questions, something, anything that comes under
okay.
SQL, or you can simply search for SQL challenges. That's it. So SQL
Mm.
problems, something. So then you will get to
Okay.
everything.
Sir.
Okay.
Sure, we'll do that, sir.
Okay.
Yeah.
Fine. But never stop practicing. Okay. So every day, if you practice it, that day will take you closer to your data engineering career. So don't
Sure,
stop.
sir. Sure. Yeah.
Okay.
Sure.
Yeah. Karthik, hope you are ready for demo on this Saturday, right?
Yes, sir. Saturday at 8 o'clock. Okay, sir.
Night 8 o'clock. Fine.
Ah, yes, sir.
Fine.
But
No issues. No issues. It's up to you. If you want to demo, please demo. And
okay,
I want
sure.
Arun as well. I'm not sure. So I want Arun as well to demo. But if he joins today, fine. If not, please convey the same to Arun as well.
Sir, SQL where I execute, sir. This online
Mm,
compiler is not
okay.
working, and I download MySQL,
Mm,
but it not working.
okay. Let me do one thing. I will try to download MySQL Postgres in my local laptop. If it works fine, then I will share it with you. Then you can start using.
Uh,
You guys can use that local installation. Okay. So that I will
okay,
do, and I will let you know. There are many
okay,
tools SQL clients, but let's see. I need to do it from once in my laptop. Then I will confirm.
okay, sir. Okay.
Fine. Yeah, there are other people. We are running out of time. So today is one of the important discussion. Once after this today's calls, na, that means almost if you are done with today's discussion, na, then mostly we will be good. Then next days it's easy for you. So today is one of the important class, most difficult class I feel. So once we are done with this, then from the next class onwards, you don't need to stretch much on these things.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, sir.
But whatever I'm saying now, it may be it complex for you. It's easy. If it's easy, everyone will go and learn it. So then there is no point of being different, right? So it's never being going to be easy. It will be complex only. Try to prepare complex projects. Okay, so then it will help you. Okay.
Okay, sir.
Ayurveda,
Okay.
thanks for joining the call. Okay, let's give 2 more minutes for other people to join. If not, we can quickly get started.
Okay, sir.
I'll start sharing my screen. Okay, so okay, yesterday we were discussing this, right? Fine. Fine. Let's get started. Okay. So today's class we are going to see execution part. So on what we discussed yesterday, right? So I'm just quickly review that, recap that. Okay. Uh, what we decided that you have two snapshots. That means if you query the snapshot one, that will give you a few set of records. If you query the snapshot two, that will give you different data. That means different data in the sense updated data. If you have any changes happened on a current snapshot, that will create a new snapshot, right? So if you query the old snapshot, it won't give you that change. Okay. If you query the latest snapshot, it will give you that change, right? Yesterday we saw that like 50 records and 67 records. If I query the oldest, it will give me the 50 records. If I query the latest, it will give the 67 records, because 17 these 70 records were inserted into this table and created a new snapshot. That's what we discussed, right? And also we discussed, right, in the first pipeline run, bronze job will run on this 15 records, okay, 50 records, and it will get bronze snap one will get created. This is the latest for the bronze table. Now my silver job will run on top of these 50 records. That means indirectly on bronze snap one, okay, and create the silver snap one. Fine. Now fine. Now in the second pipeline run, my job will run on top of this bronze snap 2. But if it ran on bronze snap 2, it will give us the 67 records. But I do not want all 67 records. I want only the latest records, because last in the last run I already processed the 50 records. Now in the new run, I need to process only the new records, new CDC records that is 17 records, right? Bronze job will run for 17 records and create bronze snapshot 2. Now my job needs to run on top of this bronze snap 2 minus bronze snap 1. Okay, bronze snap 1 we will store it as a last process snapshot ready, so that we will get the difference between these two snapshot ready. That will be 17 records. Yesterday we saw, right, difference between these two, except using this, if you run this, you will get to see, right, the difference, right? So it will run on top of this and get the difference. That 17 records it will get. It will process those 17 records and load into the target table. Okay. Now in the third run, again same thing. Now currently we process the bronze snap to, right? Now before processing anything, it will try to check whether the table has any updated snapshot ID. It has bronze snap 3. It already stored that bronze snap 2 is the last process snapshot ID. It will check for this snapshot ID, current snapshot ID of this bronze table. Then it found that, okay, there is a bronze snap 3. That means this bronze snap 3 is not equal to this bronze snap 1. That means it need to process this bronze snap 3. So it will process that. Again same thing, bronze snap 3 minus bronze snap 2, that will give the 10 records it need to process. Then those 10 records it will process and update into table, merge into table. Fine. Now fourth pipeline run, that means it hasn't processed any zero records. Okay. Then there is no new snapshot ID created. Now my silver job, right, it already stored that bronze snap 3 as a last process snapshot ID. Now it found that the latest snapshot ID of this bronze table is bronze snap 3. Now it tried to compare between these two snapshot IDs. That means this both, it says that both the snapshot IDs are equal. That means there is no new data inserted into bronze table. That means there is no need to process run our silver job now, because there is no new data to process. Okay, so we already see this blindness issue. If you always try to process the last two snapshot IDs, latest two snapshot IDs of the bronze table, then that's an issue, because in future if you hit this use case, right, where there are no records, no CDC records found, then uh, but still you're trying to process the 10 records, these 10 records, right? There are zero records, there are zero CDC records, but still you're trying to process these 10 records, because you are blindly following the latest last two process snapshot ID, a snapshot ID of that bronze table, right? So that blind problem, how we can rectify? We can rectify by noting down what was the last process snapshot ID of that source table, which is bronze in our case. Okay. Now can we store this data in the we need to store it in some place, right? Then we found that there are two services where we can store. One is Aurora RDS and one is DynamoDB table. And why we selected DynamoDB table? Because of its key value pairs, okay, and low cost, high availability, and efficiency. Because of that we choose this DynamoDB, right? And Aurora we haven't selected. Aurora is also definitely good option, but we haven't selected Aurora just because it's bit high in cost, definitely high in cost. We do not want to pay for it. Maybe in some product will be okay to pay that cost, then fine, let it go with the Aurora ideas. But in our case we do not want to pay that cost, that extra cost. So that's why we choose the DynamoDB. For our use case, DynamoDB is enough. But in some use cases, DynamoDB is not enough. Then we need to go with Aurora RDS. In my project, now in my company, currently we are going with Aurora RDS only, because we are doing some extra complex things. If you people think this is complex, then if you see my project, you will say, okay, it's complex. uh, so that complex it is. So yeah, currently let's go with DynamoDB. Let's keep it very simple. Okay. Now what it will do is it will always select the latest process snapshot ID for table where job name is equal to this. Then you will find the last process snapshot ID with the help of that last process snapshot ID. Now let's say here bronze snapper, right? That means this job last time process this bronze snapper. Now let's say bronze table has snapshot 2. Okay, it has bronze snapshot 2. Now, let's try to compare between these two snapshots. Is it matching? No. That means it needs to do the difference between these two snapshot IDs and get the data. Okay. So simple as that. Okay. So let's try to see it's working. Okay. So let's try to see how things will work. Okay. Before that, let's try to create a DynamoDB table. Did they join? Yeah. I don't know. Who is missing? Anusha is missing. Okay. So let me try to create a DynamoDB table for you. This is glue control table. I was testing these things, so let me create it for now. Just deleting this table. I'll show you how to create a table. Okay, fine. Okay, I'm trying to create a DynamoDB table. Simple. We already know how to create DynamoDB table and how to insert values, but let's try to create it again. Click on create table. Click on table name. So table name, I'm going to give this glue underscore control underscore table. Let me remove the space. Okay. Now partition key. What is this partition key? The partition key is a part of table's primary key. Okay. Table primary key and it's a hash value. I mean, primary key is a partition key here. Okay. You know, right? For every table will contain primary key. In DynamoDB, we will call it as a partition key. Simple. So what will be my partition key? My partition key will be job name. Okay. Job name will be act as my partition key and sort key. Do you have any sort key? For now, I do not have any sort key, but in few cases you need that sort key. Sort key is kind of a table second primary key. You can consider that as well. Okay, tables secondary primary key. Okay, so for now we do not have anything. Okay, that's why I'm not giving anything. It's always option. You can use a sort key as a second part of table's primary key. Okay, so we do not need that for now. Okay, let's keep it leave it as this. Now table settings. Do you want to use the customer settings? Then you can click on customer settings and see that they are DynamoDB standard and on demand provision. So you can select all these things. There are many things you can select which we already saw in the last DynamoDB demo, but currently I do not want to go all these things. Just selecting the default values. Fine. Table class is DynamoDB standard. Capacity mode is on demand, and maximum read capacity there are I think this it will take care on the fly. On the fly in the sense, while needed, they will do this. While it's not needed, they will shut down those things. Capacity units and all. Read capacity, write capacity units. Okay, fine. Now create a table. Fine. Table is getting created. Now let me explore items. If I click on explore items, okay, minimize this. Click on this glue control table. You see, my table got created. Okay, table got created. Fine. Now in this table I wanted to have two columns. Let me create item. That columns we will call it as item here. Okay, in a normal table, in a normal SQL table, right, you will see columns and rows. Similar way you will see here columns and rows, but here the columns we will call it as I'll show you what we call it as. Okay, click on create item, attribute name. See, attribute name means column name. Column name. Job name is the column name here. That in DynamoDB we will call it as attribute name. Fine. So what is the job name you wanted to give here? So in my case, the job name will be this. Okay, in just landing to branch. Okay, so let me give this name. Fine. Now I want one more column. Okay, one more column. You see, new attribute. That column should be of string, number, boolean, binary, null, string, all this kind of set. But I need just string. I select a string set now, so you can create multiple values. So you see some value, then you can just insert a field, then you can create one more value. It's a kind of list. Okay, so I do not want this, I just want a string. So that's why I selected this. I'll again select this. Okay, string. Okay, now what is the string name? Last process snapshot ID, because that was the name I wanted to do. See, this is what we decided for last process snapshot ID. Okay, last process snapshot ID. Empty value, I'm giving empty value because my job hasn't run it, right? This landing to bronze, I think it's not landing to bronze, it um should be bronze to silver. Customer ingest bronze to silver. Customer ingest bronze to silver. Okay, so it should be this, because this job only read data from a iceberg table and write into iceberg table. Okay, for last process snapshot data, I'm just keeping as is. Fine, just creating the item. Fine, fine. So this table look like this. Okay, now let's try to see small working with this table. Okay, there are two things I need to do. If I go back here, whenever I process a snapshot ID, I need to update here. Okay, first thing. Now in the next run, right, in the next run, if I need to process, I need to fetch this snapshot ID, and then with the help of this snapshot ID, I will find the CDC records. Fine, that means in one case I need to update this snapshot ID here, keep on updating these values here, and also other side we need to read this data, and with the help of this data we will find the CDC records. We will see how to do that. Okay, fine. Now let's go to a table. Athena table. Where is that Athena table? Okay, let's go to Athena table. Okay, fine. Okay, so this in this Athena table, this as, I think this, keep it two. So this has two snapshot IDs. Two snapshot IDs. This is the latest snapshot. This is the oldest snapshot. Okay, oldest snapshot. Let's say let's say for now I just processed this snapshot ID, oldest snapshot I just processed. Okay, pipeline run one has processed this snapshot ID. That means I need to go and update this snapshot ID here, right? Inside this I need to go and update this snapshot ID. That means it says that okay, this snapshot ID is processed, but how can I do it? I need to create a function to update that item. Okay, this is a notebook, you already know notebook, how to create a notebook and all. So, okay, so this is a notebook. Okay, now in this notebook I have a function called this update existing column only. What is this? Why we need this function call? Do not worry, I'll show you. Okay, update exist column only. Fine, for now I'll just try to pass this value here, then I'll help you understand how to do it. Okay, simple. I just have this update existing column only, that means some function. Okay, this will help you to update, this value here. Currently you see there are it's an empty value. Okay, it's an empty value. Now this notebook, in this function I need to pass the table name. What is the table name? Glue control table. If I go and see here, this is my table name. Fine, and this is the job name. Okay, and this is the last process snapshot ID. Fine, let's go back here. So this is the table name. Okay, and the key, what is the key for the table? What is the partition key we created? Job name, right? Job name is the key. So see, this is the primary key, right? Whenever you do select any table, right, you will do select start from table where primary key is equal to so and so. In this case, job name is the primary key, so that's why I'm going with this. Key is equal to job name, and this is the key. I wanted to update this snapshot ID for which row? This row, this primary key, right? Then primary key is job name, that's what I'm mentioning here. I'm just explaining it that with the glue job, that okay, this is the job name. Job name is my primary key name. Okay, and column name, which column I wanted to update? Last process snapshot ID column, right? These are the values I need to pass. Fine, super, these are the values I need to pass. I am just running this, and before running I just want to make sure that there are no values here, no value here, right? No value here. Now if I run this, see, value error, this last process snapshot edit does not exist. It says last process snapshot edit does not exist. Hmm, let's go here. I think mm, mm, create item string last process snapshot ready. Maybe we cancel this. Last process to snapshot underscore ID. Okay, it says it does not exist. I think now it's not supposed to do that. Okay, last process snapshot ID here. Let me run this function first. Let me run this. row does not exist or column does not exist. Fine, it should be just landing to branch. So this is the, what does it saying? Row does not exist or column does not exist. Okay, fine. What does it say is currently here, what is my job name? Glue customer ingest landing to branch. But if you go and see here, this is a different job. That means it is looking for that key. It is looking for this ingest landing to branch key here. As it did not present, it was throwing an error. So I need to give this key. Okay, this key here. So let me go here, cancel this and give it here. Now it will update that. Okay, see, it updated that last person chapter ID is this and job name is equal to this. Okay, if I go and see here, there is nothing empty, right? If I refresh, you are supposed to see that. See, there is a value here. Fine. Now I wanted to fetch this value. Okay, I will explain you how the code and all working. But you wanted to fetch this value. How we are going to fetch that value? Simple. Again, same approach. Give the control table name. Table name is equal to this, and give the job name, and it will give the last person snapshot ID. Okay, simple. Right? Select a star from table where think this in this way. See, this is the, here is this. Fetch the latest snapshot. This is the one. I think this is not the one. Yeah. Select last process snapshot ID from glue underscore control underscore table where job name is equal to this one. That's it. Simple, right? So that one we are going to do. Okay. How do you fetch the data? For that also I created a function. Okay. So let me remove this quotations. Okay. So I created a fetch item function, and this will help you to fetch the last process snapshot ID from the table for a particular job name. Fine. So this is the fetch item. Here I'm just passing the table name, glue control table name, and the key. What is the key I need to get? Okay. If I go and click on this, see, it fetching none because there is no there is this column, this row do not present, right? So what is the column that present? What is the value that present? This is the value. So I need to give this value here. Now if I run it will get, right? See, job name and the last process snapshot ID. Fine. So it is fetching that value for us. Now you can use this value and you can just do whatever you want to do. Fine. Now let's see it's working. Now let's first see how we are going to update, because without updating you cannot fetch, right? So without updating you cannot fetch. Okay, simple. So for updating we are passing the table name, key, primary key, column, and new value. Fine, fine. Okay. Now what is DynamoDB? Here I told you, right? In AWS, if you wanted to connect between two different services, you need to use boto3 function and create a client out of it. Create a client out of it, right? Here that's what we are doing here. This DynamoDB is a client. Okay, client that will be created with the help of this boto3 function. Okay, so with the help of this client I am connecting this to table. Okay, so boto3.resource, that means now with this glue notebook has the permission, has the required access to connect along with the IAM role, and this client has this required things to connect with this DynamoDB. Everything is an API in AWS. Note that point. Okay, again stretching, everything is an API in AWS. So to make API calls you need to use this boto3. Okay, so you need to call a service from this service, you need to call a second service from a service, you need to use this boto3 function for sure. There is no other alternative. Okay, maybe the other alternative, but we do not want to worry about those things. So boto3. Okay, fine. Now that's why I created DynamoDB client. Now this, with the help of this DynamoDB client I can do whatever I wanted to. Okay, with the help of this DynamoDB client dot table, what's the table name? Table name I'm getting from the this parameter here. So I'm just passing this glue control table, so it will get the control table here. Now I am trying to update the item. Okay, so what is update item? You know, right? In this table you are going to update. Okay, um I already shown you, right? While working with S3, I showed you, right? List the objects in that bucket, copy the objects from that bucket, delete the objects from that bucket. We have functions for that things, right? So to update, delete an object in a bucket, we have a function. To list the objects in a bucket, we have a function. All we need to do is just create a S3 client. Okay, just create a S3 client. Let me show you that code maybe. Okay, in just data from landing to row. Okay, if I open this code, we go inside this. So the see, yeah, ignore this. Yeah, you see here, this is a function. S3 is a client here. S3 is a client here. So with the help of this S3, here is this S3 client I created. I think I created it here. See S3. Right? S3 is a client here. Boto 3 again. Boto 3. There is no change. Again Boto 3. Using this S3, there is a function. In the S3 there is a function for copy object. So I just calling that function, and in that I need to pass this process bucket and all these values. Then it will help you. It will help you to copy the object. So for delete object, same thing. So S3 dot delete client dot delete object. Right. So similarly for this DynamoDB, you created a client. Okay. With the help of that client, you created a table with the table name we wanted to have, and with the help of that table name we are just calling the update item on the table. In the glue control table I wanted update item on update item. Now key we are passing right here. From here key is here, this is right key, this is the key you wanted to process. Okay, it will take care of that. And update expression is equal to, like, right, in control in SQL tables you might have practiced this. Set so and so value, set column is equal to so and so value. I'll show you. Okay. Simple. Set, let me take this. I'm trying to convert this into SQL. Okay. Set last process snapshot ID is equal to so and so snap. Okay. Um, but before that we need to say update set update glue control table. Okay. I think it should be like this. Set control table. Okay. Where, hope you guys have tried this. If not, it's up to you. Okay. Hope you guys have tried this update. It's a D. Uh, it's a SQL command, right? Okay, so this is the key. Okay, this is how you're going to do it, right? Similarly, here last process snapshot ID is the column name, glue control table is a table name, and job name is the column name, and this snap and this glue customer bronze to silver are values to it. Similarly, here that is what I'm doing. Update expression is set column and value. What is the column here? I'm just passing this column from the this inputs. Okay, and primary key, PK means primary key, because where we are going to use primary key I will let you know. So in below you see, right, primary key and all. Primary key I'm just using to find, right. So here I'm just passing this as a key. What if that key does not exist? Earlier you see, right, let's say if it does not exist, see it says row does not exist. How it will mention that the row does not exist? Simple, it needs to check for that existence of that row. So that's where it will check for this. Okay, so attribute exist or not, attribute exist or not. Okay, so and also similarly the column as well. So if the column last person saturated, let remove this. Okay, silver. Okay, let me update this. Okay, see it says last process saturated is not present. It is not present. That means if it present, then go and update. If it do not present, let's not update that. So that's a actual process, right? If the column does not present, why we need to bother to update it, right? So that's why we just pass this primary key. I mean, you see, condition expression is equal to, okay, we're just asking it to check for that condition. If there are no attribute exist, or this primary key and column does not exist, throw an error. If it's met, that condition is met, that means the primary key and the column exist, then fine, then update the table and update the table and return the attributes to us. Okay, so that's why you see update expression is equal to this is the update expression. And expression attributes, here I'm just mentioning column and value. So what is this column and value? So column means this column, PK means primary key, PK name. Okay, so that we are passing from here, PK name and column. You see, PK name and column. Okay, so now return values and all fine. Then expect this. Okay, in case of any error, I'm just catching that error using this expect. Fine. Now let's go and see fetch item. Fetch item is very simple. Again, this DynamoDB client, and again table out of it. Okay. Now using the table dot get item, I'm just getting this table dot get that item. I will pass the key, so job name and key. Then that will give the value to us. I mean, I'll just pass this as a key. Okay, this will come here. Okay, then it will get the response. Okay, in that response you will get the item. In that response you will find an item column. For that item column, just fetch the value to us. That's it. Okay, so you see in this item you can say this row, if you wanted to find the last process snapshot ID, last process to snapshot ID. Okay, see, I just got the value, right? This is how, because in this row contains every value. Row is kind of a dictionary here. Okay, so how do you access values in the dictionary? Using this. Okay, so see, this is what you will get. Fine. So that's how you will do apply this to function. Actually, one thing, I do not want to deep dive all these things. Okay, it's because it's a Python coding, right? You can simply understand it, but I wanted to explain how these functions and how things work in the DynamoDB table. So that's why I was updating. So you can go to any ChatGPT, any AI tool, and ask them, okay, explain this function. It will explain for sure. It will explain with more details. But I just wanted to walk you how do we do in the background. What are the if you need to know the design first, then you can do coding and all. Is today in AI world, coding won't that difficult. Okay, so first you need to know the design. Once you know the design, then coding you can just rock. Okay, fine. So till now you're fine, right? Now let me list the things we need to do. Okay, first one, first one. Um, read snapshot from control table. Okay, now here the condition is if snapshot found. Okay, then fetch current snapshot of the table of the table. Okay, then compare both the snapshots. Okay, compare both snapshots. If matches, print. I'm just explaining you, print no new data to process. Okay, if else, okay, else do, else diff of s- old, I mean I think fetch current snapshot. Okay, so difference minus fetch snapshot ID minus last process snapshot ID. That's it. You will get fetch this and then load data into target table, target iceberg table. Okay, fine, fine. This is how you will going to do. Okay, these are the steps we are going to do. So now let's try to these are the steps we wanted to. Okay, so first you will read the snapshot from the table. Okay, if the snapshot found, then fetch current snapshot ID of the table and compare both the snapshot IDs. Okay, fetch snapshot from DynamoDB table, let's say db glue control table. Then if the snapshot ID found, then you will go and do all this stuff. Okay, the snapshot ID does not found. Okay, else, then means that means it's a full load. Then read data from iceberg table, bronze iceberg table. Okay, and update into target IZB table. Okay, IZB table, and update update control table with the, so with the current snapshot ID we processed. Okay, these are the things we need to do. Fine, I know it will definitely confusing for you. Okay, so I'll make the things clear very easy for you. Okay, fine. So you already know how DynamoDB works and how things are happening here. Fine, now let's go and deep dive. Okay, um where is this? I'll just try to create a spark function for us. Okay, okay, this function because you need to create a Spark session right with the iceberg features. Otherwise, it's a normal Spark and it won't work with the iceberg features. Okay. Before that, I need to stop the session. This will stop the session. Okay, I just stop the session. Okay. Now, um, this thing. Let me move it here. Let me try to create this. Okay. It will try to create a Spark session for us. Let it run. It's trying to create a Spark session for us, okay, with iceberg features. It will fail, I think, because it do not have the Spark session. Uh, from iceberg. What? Spark session. Now it won't fail. We're still busy. Busy. Mm. It created a session. See, it says Spark session is not found. Fine. Let me run this again. Now it will create it, I think. See, it created now. Fine. It created now. So now let me try to read data from Spark table. Okay. So I'm trying to read data from df is equal to spark dot sql. Okay. So okay. Simple. Select star from which table I wanted to read. Let's say customer table. Okay. This customer table. Where is this? Okay. So I need to pass a glue catalog as well here, otherwise it will fail. Okay, glue catalog dot customer table. Let me remove this quotations here, otherwise it will break our code. Okay, let's try to run this. And without any transformation, I mean action, it won't work. Yep. Let's try to read this data and see how things work. It's fetching the data. Let me, by default, it will fetch 100 records. See, this is what it fetched. Let me run it again. I want only 10 records, right? Right. You know. Now let's see count of this number of records it has. Okay. So df dot count. 67 records, right? That means it is fetching from the latest snapshot id, right? out of these two snapshot ids out of these two snapshot ids, it is fetching from the latest snapshot. That means this snapshot id, but I wanted to fetch from this snapshot id for time being. Okay, then I will run this code there. I think this is the latest or oldest. I think 6 and 4 should be the oldest. Okay, so I wanted to fetch from the oldest snapshot id, right? Okay, I think this is fine. Let's see. Let me remove this. Df count is an action, right? So that's why it will take care of. See, that means it is getting the 50 records for us. Fine. Fine. Okay. I'm just trying to replicate the process. Okay. How we are going to do it. Now, so let's try to see the latest snapshot ID. I mean, try to fetch the latest snapshot ID for the table. That's for that we already have a query, right? Yeah, to fetch latest snapshot ID, right? This is the query. Select snapshot ID. Okay. So let's try to run this. Df underscore latest is equal to spark dot scale of simple. This is the one way to do Spark coding, and other way is Python functions. Okay, that's why I'm insisting you to always focus more on SQL. That's why I'm insisting. Okay, so currently I'm dealing with the Spark simple Spark select statements. Okay, so maybe in future we can use PySpark Python code. Okay, look at log dot. But all these things now they're literally table dot history. So this is the small changes you need to do. Let me run this. There is no action now. That's why it is not printing anything. Let's latest dot show. Come on. Okay, it gave the snapshot ID. This is the latest snapshot ID, but we are doing this snapshot ID, right? That means there is a discrepancy. Okay, so this way you can get the latest snapshot ID. Df underscore fetch underscore latest snap from table. Okay, so we will never go into hard code like this table name, Google catalog, and all. We'll try to parameterize these values. Okay, so if you run and see, these are the values. Okay, now I wanted to find the difference between these two snapshot IDs, right? This is one snapshot ID. If I take this, okay, okay, let me take this. If I run this now, how many? 67. This is 50. This snapshot has 50. This snapshot has 60. That means, right? This is the latest snapshot ID for sure. This is the oldest snapshot ID. Fine. Now, cool. Now, as per our discussion, we need to find the difference between these two snapshot IDs. Okay. This is the DF world. Okay. This is the DF underscore latest. Okay. So let's run it again. Okay. Fine. Okay. Now, df underscore latest minus df underscore world. Let's try to see what will happen here. I don't think it will work. No. Df underscore difference, let's say cdc, is equal to df minus this. I think this also won't work. Okay, fine. Dot minus. Okay, this will work. Data frame object has no attribute minus, except maybe there at syntax it says df underscore latest. So whenever we found these things, so between data frames. So whenever you found these type of things, find difference between two data frames. Stack Overflow is one of the best website. Okay, you can use that. What does it says is these guys doing something new. So there is one good website I wanted to show you. Spark data frames. Let's mention that. Not this one, not this one. By Spark by examples, but okay, fine. Now let's go and see. Spark is this. Subtract. I'm just doing a subtract now. So this is the difference we need to use. So we can use subtract similar to accept all. Subtract returns the rows from the first data frame that are not in the second. However, subtract behaves like accept distinct in SQL, meaning it removes duplicate rows before performing the subtraction. Okay, or you can do intersect as well. Returns only the unique rows that are present in both data frames, or intersect all matching rows including duplicates. Okay, so you can do that, those kind of stuff, or you via joins also you can do. Okay, but for now let's go with the subtract only. Subtract only. Okay. Okay, as there is no action, it is doing nothing. cdc dot show, and I think let's not show, let's try to do count. Hmm, done it. There should be 17 records. Let's see. 17 records. Fine. So we are able to see the difference between these two records. Not only count, you can just do show. Okay. You'll see 17 records. See, these are the 17 records. These are the updated records. Now, what are the transformations you wanted to apply? Let's apply on top of this. Okay. In create diff apply nations on a df. Okay, so what are the transformations? You know, like last time we created a job. If you guys are following or reviewing, revising, I'm not sure, but we already created this already. Okay, so customer, currently we are working on bronze to silver. Right? In bronze to silver, see, this is the thing we are working on. Okay, so let's copy this. That's why I'm asking, always asking to follow the content and always prepare. Okay, so currently I'm just using this data frame. Okay, so this df to create this customer temporary table, and using the temporary table I'm doing all this stuff. So why I'm doing all this stuff? Because here in this athena, see, if I query here, if I query the select star from table, okay, I'll have 17 records, sorry, 67 records, and that will have a duplicates as well. Okay, so duplicates as well. Let's say record maybe, see this record 27 got updated. You see record 27. If I do copy and paste, okay, so 27 will also present here. See, 27 is duplicated. That means it got some update. So what we discussed in the when you go to PIDP, you're not going to see this two records. You're going to see only the latest record for that primary key, right? So that we are doing here. Right? Select start from select row number or partition and all. So this logic you can refer. We already know, right? So we already discussed on the call. Okay. So this apply, but before applying, we need to pass something to it, right? Then apply. Let's copy this. Okay, apply transformation. Okay, and we'll pass this dfcdc to it. So this is the difference, right? This is the 17 records which we have. Okay, then final df. Let's return final df. Now let's catch the df here. Okay, and final df dot show is equal to false. Okay, okay, fine. Well, let's run this. See, what we have now. Let me remove this. Comment this. Trial y. See, these are the records. Okay, these are the 17 records which we got. Okay, so with the help of that, we were able to see. We were able to fetch. So I know. Maybe let's do it this way instead of this df underscore latest. Let's pass the latest. So let's pass all 100 records. Okay, so these are the records we got. Now let's see count of the see, you see for one it's a insert. Yesterday before this we saw 27. Let's see. So 27 you see only update. Do we see any record for 27? No, you won't see that. Okay, you see there is only one entry for the 27th record. There is only one entry, and that too it is updated record. You do not have the inserted record. If you go and see in this query, so 27 has this 27 has this insert as well. 27 has this update as well. Now we are seeing only the updated record because that's what we wanted to do, right? Ra will have all the records, but PIDP have only the latest records, right? So see, in this way you're just getting the latest records. Fine. Now these latest records, right? This final df final df, we will append to um, append to target table. So what's the target table here? Target table will be, you see, this is the database we created. This is the silver Amazon database. Okay, there is no table here. So to this table we need to write this table data. Okay, so target table will be target table is equal to, okay, so clue underscore catalog dot launch table. Okay, so this is the target table. I think no, it's not bronze, it's silver. Okay, silver table. So this final df I need to write to, okay, right, if we go to this script, right, so what we are doing here, finally we are writing into this script table, right. It will fail here, I think. It won't work because this won't support, notebook won't support iceberg kind of stuff. Okay, but yeah, let's glue catalog dot, okay, for now let me comment this. I already have this. Maybe let's always do the parameterization. Okay, target table using the snapshot idea. Okay, so if I try to do it, let's see whether it will run or not. It ran successfully. Netina Gauri, there is no table here. See, there is a customer table here. Super. If I go and see, we go and see, these are the records I have. 50 total how many records? 55 records. Fine. Out of the 50 records, let's see 27. Where is this 27, 27, 27, 27? Okay. See, there is only this 27th record. Is there any other 27 record? Let's see. No. No. If I go down 27, 27, this we don't consider. Yeah, there is no record with 27. There is only one record, that too updated record. Okay, this phone number update. Okay, that means we achieved what we wanted to achieve. Right. So rise but table supposed to have all the updates, but PADP table not PADP. This bronze will always have the uh, all the records. Silver will have only the latest records. Okay, latest records. That's what we have done. Okay, so we were able to successfully achieve that. Okay, now on top of this data, we wanted to do what are the transactions we want, what are the logics we have, business transformations and all. So we can do that and we can do the processing. Okay, so overall, this is a script. Okay, if you click on the script here, right, so you see this is a script. So df update existing columns, updated row, import row, and all this stuff. So okay, this is the final script. Okay, we need to modify few changes. Okay, but I will do that changes. But yeah, these are the final script. Okay, so these are things we apply till now. Okay, fine. I will do the changes and then okay, I'll just do the changes and show it to you. Okay, so this is how things work. Okay, so we just fetch the current snapshot id. Okay, old data using the oldest snapshot id. Here if you see, I just hard coded these values, but tomorrow let's not hard code it, let's do it via code. I mean, let's parameterize these values. Okay, this will get the latest snapshot id, right? So wait, yeah, this will give us the latest snapshot id. Here is the script. So wait. I think we still have the 3 minutes. Okay, let me show you a small thing. It is this. I know it's overwhelming for you guys, but believe me, it's definitely worth it. Okay, this is the, if I run this now. So this is a snapshot ID. If I do collect, so this is you got. Right? If you're doing the collect, right? If you go into this 0, 0, 0. So this is the value got. Okay. So this I will do it as latest snapshot ID is equal to via this fetch. This fetch I'm going to this latest snapshot ID. So that I will pass it here. That I will pass it here. It's again the same approach. Say f string, f string. Okay. Pass it. It's again the same. Let me run this. Okay, now let me run this. Fine. See, again the same approach. I haven't done any world thing. It's the same approach. But the thing is, I just parameterize this. I just remove this. I think this is also. Let me get this thing. Source table. Okay. So source table is equal to this. Okay. Source table is equal to this. Then you can simply run it. See, you just parameterizing all these things. See, nothing happened. Now again, parameterize one more thing. What is that? Okay, this cust control table, source table we have. These things. Okay, maybe this one. Fetch snapshot ID. Currently, let's update customer table with this. Okay, I think DynamoDB already has this, right? DynamoDB already has this. Fine. DynamoDB already has this. Let's fetch it from the DynamoDB table. Fetch item. So this function I need to call. Okay, this row. So if I call this, then I will see this, right? Hmm. See, this is a fetch item, and out of this, I wanted to select. This is a dictionary, right? Last process snapshot ready. Okay, so let me. Okay, this will give us the last process snapshot ready. The call got started. Super. So if I run this last process snapshot ready, okay, it will give nothing. We click and pass it here in this f string. Okay, so you will run it again. Last process after ready, you'll get it via this fetch item DynamoDB function. Do this here. You see again same thing, right? I just parameterized it. I just parameterized it. Okay, then again this will continue. Okay, select start from table, source table, and all these things. See this thing. Okay, so this is how you will do. Okay, so tomorrow I will optimize the code more, and then I will show you how to do all this stuff. Okay, so fine. Um, for now, that's it for today's class. I know it's definitely overwhelming content for you, but fine. Let's push ourselves. Then only we will learn new things. Okay. Thank you so much. If you guys have no doubts, then we can wind up.
Yeah, sir, no doubts.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.